Good morning, everyone. Today is June 29th. It's a Saturday. This is my 5th WIP and Chat. WIP and Chat means work in progress. Today I am going to be kitting up some diamonds for coasters that I also plan on working on next month, which is already on Monday. Oh my gosh. Diamond Grandma, I'll have to put her down in the description. She does events every month, and next month is Christmas in July. I can't believe we're halfway through the year already. But I did the kitting up of my Santa Claus, so I'm going to work on that. And during my lunch hours at work, I hope to work on my coasters, and I will show you these. These are pretty cool. These are the Grinch. I have a friend who lives in Montana. When she lived here in Hayes, we both worked at a children's center. So she always loved the Grinch. So when I seen these on Amazon, I don't remember how much I paid. I'll have to look and see if I can remember to put everything down below. But here are the coasters. Maybe I can show you. But there's this one. And oops. This. Lots of green. Now that my sister would love. She loves green. Oh, I love this one of Grinch. This is cute. And then there's this one. I really can't make it out much, but it'll be fun to do these. Oh, Merry Grinchmas. Grinch stole. Another one of him, closer up. And we have this one. And this one. So yeah, that's what I decided I would do on this WIP and Chat, because I thought, I would like to try to get these done and send them to her for her birthday, which is Labor Day. Either that or Christmas, one of the two. So we'll see. Excuse me, I need to pull my hair back. I am getting on the warm side. Don't take much. So yes, good morning. Whoops, that's not going to work. I'm going to feel that one getting all tangled up. All right, let me do this real quick before I go. So anyway, last week, if you watch Shay when she goes live on Sundays at 4, I will put her down below too. She talked about a deaf gentleman who does diamond painting. So I went ahead and friended him right away. And then after Shay's live, my husband and I went and watched him. And if you don't know, my husband is deaf. So I thought I'd share some stuff about deaf and hard of hearing. And I did notice that Kyle, that's the gentleman's name, he does have a cochlear implant. So I will share about that also. So anyway, good morning and happy Saturday. How is everyone doing? I am good, actually. Doing very good. So I want to read my prayer card. It says, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Philippians 4:4. I like that. Rejoice. Because our Lord is amazing. He does so much good for us, and we just sometimes don't thank him enough. So thank you, Heavenly Father, for all that you do. Okay, temperature is 71 this morning. We're a little on the cooler side. Not much, but we are. And the wind is actually calm. It's down to 11. Whoa. Monday it was still pretty windy. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I guess I could start doing this while I'm visiting. I wanted to mention some people that I watch, and I'm sure you watch them too. Wow, I gotta show you these first. Sorry, I'm sidetracking again, but oops, here, let's do it this way. You don't need to see the gray. Here's some white. That looks like purple. That's a black. And then here's another. But these are all so beautiful. Look at that. Very shiny. It's going to make beautiful coasters. That's green. Yeah, that's two the same, so that's a good thing. This looks like a gold. Whoops, gotta go up higher. That looks like a silver. No, that's a blue. Take that back. That's a blue. My bad. Oh, and that's the same. This looks like a red. Another blue. Another green, like a lighter green. And that's the same one. Here we go. And there. And there. Okay, so now let's get started. Okay, so the ones that I watch, I'll try to mention some. I think I said that at the beginning. My very first one, I'm kind of lost it there for a little bit. Excuse me. I have to reach one of my scissors. Anyway, I watch Diamond Painting Anonymous with Daphne. She's actually in Kansas. She's down south of where I live. It's probably, I want to say, a 2-hour drive. Then I watched Diamonds by Teeda, Bella Linda, Her Life and Mine, and Starlight and Starbright 70. And then, like I said, I watched Shay. Sorry, I almost said Shane, but it's Shay. So yeah, those are the ones that I watch. I have a bunch more, but sometimes I just don't get through them all, and I gotta do that. I gotta sit down and really watch them or listen to them as I do things. This week, not a lot going on, which is okay. Oh, before I forget, instead of me cutting these out, I had someone suggest I write them, which I thought of, but then I do have this, so I thought I'm going to give it a try and see. If I don't like it, then the next go around, I'll write them out. So, yes. Anyway, so Monday, like I said, it was still windy. And so Highway 40, the road that I take to go to work, in the morning wasn't bad. I could take it. And then after work, I had to stop somewhere. I think Dillon's, our grocery store. We have a Dillon's, and that's part of the Kroger family, if you don't know that. Anyway, had to pick something up, and as windy as it was, it's like, I think I better take 70 to go home. So I took 70, and as I was coming closer to Ellis, I could see the dust really blowing over on Highway 40. So it was a good thing I decided to take Interstate 70 to come home, because that meant that Highway 40 was closed from one section to another section. Hold on a minute. I've got a tickle, and I didn't want to cough if I could help it. Anyway, so then after I got home, I sent my husband a message and said, you may want to take I-70 and come home. So he did. Tuesday, I don't think we had anything really going on. Wednesday, I did not work. I took a vacation day because I had to go to another town called Great Bend because I've been having issues with my hip, and I wanted to make sure there was nothing wrong, and there wasn't. So, yep, let me move you down here so you can watch me do this. So that was Wednesday, and my dad went with me. My husband was supposed to, but he didn't, which is fine. I took my dad with me instead, and he enjoyed it. I told him, I said, take reading material because I don't know how long how long everything's going to take. And he goes, well, I don't have much reading material. Well, luckily, my mom had a book, so she gave it to him. And after we got down there, he had the book, and I looked at it. It happened to be a story about June Carter Cash. So he was reading that. And then after my appointment, by the way, everything went good, so I'm happy about that. I will go to physical therapy, though. He thought that would maybe help a little bit. And I said, okay, that's fine. So after we left the doctor's office, we went over to Dylan's. Dad had to do something. And then I wanted to stop by my cousin's daughter. And she was working. She has 3 children. That's how I do my 3. And I'll explain why. She works at a church, and so I wanted to stop to give her a box that I had put together for her children. She has two girls and a boy, and the boy is my godson. So he had birthday recently, so I had some things in there for him and for his sisters. And so she says, oh, they're gonna love this. And then Thursday, back to work. Not much going on. We've been hot this week. I know a lot of you have been saying the same thing, but yeah, we've been hot also. Yesterday, not much happening. Yeah, not much going on. And then, well, it's okay if it blows away. This morning, I woke up, took Snoopy outside so he could do his duty, and it had rained. So we had a little rain shower. I don't think it was a lot, because I did go check the rain gauge, and there wasn't much in there. Which is okay. So, anyway. Let's see here. Okay, the ceiling fan is going, so it's blowing all my stuff away. I know I'm not turning it off because I'm hot. So I'll suffer through this. It'll be okay. So anyway, that was pretty much the week. I still haven't heard anything on my car. I did stop by my insurance guy on Wednesday since I was off from work, and I visited with him, and he said it'll probably take a while because they have a lot of claims to process through. So I said, no, that's fine. I said, I just was checking in. I said, since I had the day off, I thought I'd stop in and see what was going on. So yeah, that was almost the whole week. Not much going on. Anyway, so as I was saying, Shay had mentioned a gentleman, and his name is Kyle. I'll have to look up his information too. He does short videos, which is fine. They are very good, by the way. I watched all of them already. And he did have, I think, one on Thursday. I think I watched it. Anyways, so she was talking about him because he was deaf, and she was wanting to maybe have him on her live sometime, which I think is awesome, by the way, Shay. I give you kudos, because they oops, how do I want to say it? They're overlooked. The deaf and hard of hearing people are overlooked. That's how I want to say it. So, okay. Anyway, I imagine he will want to do it, my opinion, but, you know, I think he will. Now, I noticed it, but I didn't say nothing. I want to see if my husband would see it. And he did. He mentioned that Kyle had a cochlear implant, and it's called a CI. And the deaf have, it'll depend on the individual. Everybody is different on what they want to do to help them to hear better in their surroundings. My husband chooses to wear a hearing aid. It is a very old hearing aid. He should update, but he chooses not to. So, you know, like I said, everybody does their own thing. He does a little lip reading. Oh my word, lip reading. So that's okay. Like I said, everybody does their own thing. Hard of hearing people, you know, they're just hard of hearing, and I'm sure there may be some of you who are, and you have hearing aids. My father is hard of hearing. He had something happen to him when he was a little boy, so he's kind of had it for a while, and I think it's just gotten worse with age, because I noticed Wednesday when I was with him, I had to repeat a lot to him, and I probably should have mentioned to him that maybe his battery was running low. I don't know, but anyway, I usually know when Gary's hearing aid batteries are running low. He does not hear me as well. So anyway, whoops, I think I just, yep, I did. I cleared it out and I needed it. So, some deaf and hard of hearing can read lips. They will wear hearing aids or cochlear implants. Now, the cochlear implants is something where they have surgery in back behind the ear. Let me show you here. They will have it back here by the ear, the cochlear implant. What they do is they cut it, they insert it down into the ear, and then they stitch it up. And then I don't remember, I think it's a couple weeks they have to wait. Then they go back, and then they put it, there's a device, it's about yay big, it goes back here, and then it connects, and then they activate it. And that way they can start hearing, because I actually have 2 lady friends who had it done. So, like I said, it's up to the individual. My husband's mother wanted him to have it done, and he didn't want to. And she thought he should, but it's like, it's his choice, you know, you really can't. He's comfortable with the hearing aid, and like I said, I do sign some. I'm not as good as I should be, and the reason why is because he chooses to talk a lot. That's what he wants. So it's like, okay, if you would sign more with me, would be better. But like I said, it's just the way it goes. Anyway, and then I wanted to say every state has a deaf school. At one time they did, because I think some of them have closed because there's not enough attending, because a lot of the kids nowadays are mainstream, and that means they go to a regular school, and they have technology is so different from when my husband went to deaf school. And the reason why he is deaf is when his mom was pregnant with him, she had rubella. And that's what made him become deaf. I'm going to move you back down. I kind of sloughing off here. So yeah. And one time when my husband was little, I think he was about 4 or 5, he was by his grandma, and can't remember, I think he was playing or he was sitting on the kitchen floor. She dropped something and she noticed he didn't jump, like when young kids are just sitting there and you drop something that's kind of loud. I think it was a pot or pan, doesn't matter, you would tend to jump. Well, he didn't, so she knew there was something wrong there. So he went to, the children's center where I worked at a long time ago, specialized in helping children. And so he remembers going there when he was younger. So, he had an aunt who, I don't know, found out that there was a deaf school in Olathe. And this is back east around the Kansas City area. And so she told my husband's mother about it, and they went down and checked it out, and he started going to school there. So anyway, so yeah, the deaf school in Kansas is in Olathe. Texas has a deaf school, and it is in Austin. My brother-in-law lives in Austin, and the first time we ever went down there to visit him, we did go by the school, and it is humongous. All of the deaf schools are huge, but they're very beautiful schools. You would just have to go check it out, or you can Google it. Anyway, the reason why they're so big is because the kids live there. And then I don't think it's every weekend, unless it is now, but on the weekends they got to come home, because my husband remembers that, like I think Fridays they got out early so they could go home, because there were several that lived out here in the western Kansas area, so they would either their parents would take turns taking them, or they would take a bus from Hayes to the deaf school back then. So yep. Anyway, so there's American Sign Language, there's English Sign Language. American Sign Language is, how they explain it is they keep all the flowery words out. The of, the and, it, they shorten it a lot. So that's, I think, different than the English Sign Language. And if you were to go overseas, their sign language is completely different. So That's another reason I think why I have a hard time, because everything everybody's signing is so different. So you really have to pay attention and concentrate. But so yeah. And then I don't know if you know, there was, besides Marlene Madeline, wasn't it? She's a deaf actress. Well, there's another young lady. Her name is Millicent Simmons. Millicent. Simmons. Hold on. Snoopy. Hey. Sit down. Come on. No. 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 Listen to Mom. They're not going to come get you. Sit down. Sorry about that. He sees something out there and he has to bark at it. Anyway, she is a young deaf actress, and if you want to search it, she played in a movie called A Quiet Place, and then there was a second one, and now there's a third one. It's called A Quiet Place Day One. It's a horror science fiction movie. So this morning, before my husband left for work, yes, he works on Saturdays, he says, I think we're going to go see that movie tomorrow. I did see the first one. I'm not into horror science fiction. I will probably go, but it's like, I really don't want to. I'm sorry. Like I said, that just is not my cup of tea, but all right. So anyway, she has a quote that I thought was very beautiful. She says she wants to be an actor to show deaf people can do it. You're not too young to dream big. And that is so true. Just go after your dreams. If that's something you want to do, go for it. Don't tell anybody, just go do it. Because if you do, somebody will eventually talk you out of it, and then you probably won't ever do it. So I know I'm not talking as much. I'm trying to pay attention here. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. So anyway, I can't believe that Monday is already the month of July. I don't know where the year has went to, actually. It has went very fast in my books. Oh, I do know what I forgot to mention. On Saturday evening, I had to flush my toilet, and it would not fill up in that tank. So I messed around with it. My husband messed around with it, and it's like, oh dear. So, yep, Monday I had to call the plumber in. So luckily he was able to come and fix it. So I don't have to now worry about it leaking anymore. So that, I guess that was kind of the excitement I had. Anyway, this. then I thought I'd share a little bit more about the city of Ellis. So give me a second here. Don't think we have much going on in the city of Ellis right now. I know that, you know, with it being 4th of July, I know they get the shoot off fireworks Thursday and Friday. And that just reminds me, I need to go to the pet store in Hayes because they have something you can give your animals so it doesn't get them all worked up, because Snoopy does not like fireworks. He gets very scared about them, which I don't blame him, because some of them I think get very, very loud. I mean, I understand we want to celebrate, but it's like, anymore, they bother me, and I can almost, I mean, I understand where Snoop's coming from, and why he don't like them. So, yeah, I'll probably have to do that Monday or Tuesday, run to the store and pick that up. Actually, maybe Monday I can do that, because I go to physical therapy and they're both in the same area. So that's a good thing. Okay, I got 2 little diamonds that don't want to come out of this bag. Okay, really? Let's not do that. Let's come out. So just give me 1 second here. I want to pull this one out. Just don't think he wants to. There we go. So now I won't put him in the bag. There we go. I've decided on this. These just have, well, they have a number, 2 letters, and then 3 more numbers. Well, the letter and those 3 numbers are the same on all of them. So instead, I'm just going to put that in first number. Like this is a 5. So I'm just going to go 5. There's no sense in me putting everything else, I don't think. And that way, whoops, I can get through this maybe a little quicker. So yeah, now I need to show you something here. I don't know if I can do this. See that? He's looking out the window. That's an ottoman I have. And he loves to sit on there and look out the window. So he's just chilling. Almost every night this week, except for Thursday night, he slept with us in bed. He hogs the bed. He doesn't think he needs to share. It's like, excuse me, I know you're the king, and you think you can do whatever, but you need to move over so Mom can crawl into bed. He looks at me like, I don't think so, Mom. So I have to move him. And it's funny, I don't know if those of you who have dogs, when they sleep with you, do they become dead weight? I declare, that's about the time he becomes dead weight. He's in bed. He does not want to move. So he's just, yeah, he's dead weight. It's like, oh my goodness. I love you, but you really need to let me move you. So anyway, Like I said, our pets are everything to us. But yeah, he thinks he's the king. He rules. He rules the roost. It's like, okie dokie. So, anyway, as I was saying, I was going to share about Ellis. I don't think I've done this. If I have, I apologize. Let's see here. Yeah, Ellis is a great little town to live in. I mean, you can't go wrong when you have Big Creek run through your town, so you have a campground. And if you want to go fishing, yes, my husband does fish over there every so often. It makes it nice. So, that's what I like about it. Let me see if I can show you. Here's the Walter P. Chrysler Boyhood Home. Over here is the aero train that we have. I can read a little bit about that so you know what it is. Maybe. There's the Book of Venus Society. It's a German. We have this bell tower, which is in the cemetery, and it plays music. It's really cool. I love it because I don't live too far. I can hear the music. Here we have the Lutheran church. Here's another church. This one's out in the country. And then we have a Methodist church. We have a Baptist church. And we do have a Catholic church. So I go to that church. We have a library. Let's see. What else? Yep, here's the campground. Pretty nice. And let's see, we have parks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parks. We have a pool. It was just upgraded. And we do have fairgrounds because here around the end of July we will have a fair. Here's our golf course, which isn't too far from me. And then this is over at Cedar Bluff area. Isn't that sunflower beautiful? I just love that one. So let me just read to you real quick about the Ellis Campground. Ellis is a friendly community of 2,000 people located on Interstate 70, halfway between Kansas City and Denver. The campground is only 8 short blocks from I-70, nestled along tree-shaded banks of picturesque Ellis City Lake on Big Creek. The campground provides travelers convenient pull-through campsites to spend a quiet, restful night, in addition to free Wi-Fi, picnic tables, fire pits, and playground. The campground offers hot showers, water and electric hookups, 30 and 50 amp, common dump station, boat dock, and fishing pier. A storm shelter is available in the nearby basement of the Lutheran Church. Several shopping opportunities, restaurants, and grocery are mere blocks away. Also within easy reach are 3 beautiful city parks, 3 unique museums, miniature train ride, municipal swimming pool, public golf course, tennis courts, frisbee golf, and horseshoe pits. Ellis peaceful streets provide an excellent venue for a leisurely evening of cycling or strolling. The weekend campers are invited to worship at one of the local churches. Ellis also has an EMT ambulance, and the police department provides 24-hour patrol service. And right there's the pay station. It's just as you come into the campground. So, yes. And let me share the history of Ellis. The city of Ellis was founded in 1870 when the Kansas Pacific Railroad purchased the site for $1,200. On July 1, 1870, the brand new town arrived on the train from Ellsworth, including buildings that were transplanted in their entirety to Ellis. Well, isn't that interesting? Kansas Pacific laid out the town in 1873, establishing a depot, a hotel, and a few shops. That same year, settlers from Syracuse, New York, and later from Louisville, Kentucky, arrived to work for the railroad. The first church opened in Ellis in 1873, and the first school in 1874. Starting in 1875 and for the rest of the 1870s, Ellis was a cow town serving as a shipping point for cattle herds from the south. In 1877, a group of African Americans arrived at the Ellis Depot with the intention of establishing the first all-black settlement on the Great Plains, 37 miles north of Ellis. Nicodemus is the oldest and only remaining black settlement west of the Mississippi River. In the late 1800s, Wyatt Earp and Buffalo Bill Cody, who were often seen in and around Ellis. The Women's Law and Order Committee slate won the local elections in 1886. Ellis's all-woman council and Lady Mayor became one of the first such groups in the United States. It says famous residents. We had Walter P. Chrysler, grew up in Ellis and learned about mechanical repair and machinery in the Ellis UP shop. He used his knowledge to found the automotive giant Chrysler Corporation. Walt Disney's father and grandfather and other relatives live in Ellis. So right there is Walter's home. The little train that we have, I kind of mentioned it. It is pretty cool. All I can say is if you were to come, you would have to go and take a train ride. It is so much fun. The Ellis Railroad Museum offers a vast collection of historic railroad artifacts, photographs, and local history. Inside the museum, a replica depot provides a glimpse of what the inside of a train depot really looked like in the early 1900s. The back of the museum houses an extensive HO scale model train layout built by the Western Kansas Model Railroad Club. Display items include tools of the railroad trade, including a telegraph machine, tools used to repair and maintain the trains, lanterns, and carts used to load luggage and mail. During the summer, the BK&E Railroad is in operation outside the museum. That one right there. A miniature passenger train traverses along a 0.75 mile track. Passengers view the original railroad machine shops and former rail yard, as well as the scenic Big Creek. Outside the museum is a yellow caboose. Because now the trains don't use their cabooses, but I don't know if they donate them or if the cities have bought them. Nope, donated by the Union Pacific. If I would just continue reading. So Ellis has one. I know Victoria has one. Hayes, I don't think has one. I would have to check. Visitors can also see an authentic train depot, which was originally located in Pinokie, Kansas, which is, I think, northwest of Ellis. The museum located at 911 Washington also has a gift shop and a 1,600 piece doll museum on the second floor. So this, I guess, at one time was a jail. So the first floor has all the train, and you go upstairs, there is a doll collection. A local resident had it, and so then she donated it because she didn't know what she was going to do with it, you know, after she passed away. So she went ahead and donated, and it is an extensive doll collection. I've seen it. It's very beautiful. Lots to see. And like I said, this is the Chrysler home now because it's a museum. And here it is, whoops, back in 1924. It says that the Boyhood home was built in 1889 in a typical 19th century Midwestern style construction of white pine clapboard with a cedar shingle roof. The Chrysler family occupied the house from 1889 to 1913. Walter P. Chrysler was born in Wamego and moved to Ellis when he was 3 years old in 1878. As a boy, he milked cows and peddled milk door to door. He also worked in a grocery store and sold silverware around town. Many families owned the home until 1952 when Joe Herbert and the Dodge Plymouth dealer in Ellis bought the home because it was becoming run down. The Chrysler Corporation purchased it from Herbert, and in 1954 the home officially opened as a museum. In 1955, Jack Chrysler, Walter's son, and other Chrysler management came to town to present the deed of the home to the city of Ellis. A new building was erected behind the home in 1994 to display personal items of Walter Chrysler. So that's his home. Oh, and I did find out the museum in Hayes that I belong to, the Ellis Historical Society, is going to be having a picnic. And so, the way I understand, they're going to have the meeting. I think the picnic is July 16th. So, we're going to have the meeting about it. So, I'll get to find out what it's all about. And I hope to volunteer some of my time that day, but we'll have to see. So, yep. Anyway, I'm kind of anxious to find out about my car. To find out if I can repair it or if I need to purchase a new one. It don't matter. I don't know. If I repair it, that just means, I mean, I get to keep it for one. I still have payments on it, but I'm almost done. If I don't get to keep it, that means I have to go in search of a new vehicle. And I did kind of test drive one last weekend. Well, not one. Take that back. I test drove two. The first one was a Chevy Equinox. It was a dark charcoal color. It was very nice. It was a local one owner. Where my husband works, It's called Auto World. It's a used car dealership. They said it was a local one owner, so that was nice. It was funny. My husband went with me, and I left to go take it back to go get a different one to test drive. But it was funny because mine, I have to use the key to start it. This one, you just push the button, which is fine. So I pushed a button and it doesn't start. So I did it a second time. It didn't start. My husband had just walked to his pickup because he just went down to the park, and so I had to walk over to him. I says, "How do you start this thing?" So he comes over and he says, "You push the brake, then you push the button." I said, "Oh, thank you. That was very helpful." I said, "I did not know that." So anyway, I took it back to the dealership, and then I test drove another one, and it was a Ford Escape. It was white, leather interior, very nice. It had heated seats. I fell in love with that one because you would never believe it, but I love the heated seats. So yeah. But anyway, like I said, I just test drove those two. I told the salesman, whom I know very well, I said, "Well, I got to wait and see what the insurance tells me to do." And he said, "No, that's fine." I said, "I just wanted to know what kind of vehicles you had." And I usually drive a Ford. I had a Ford Thunderbird before I married my husband. Then after we got married, we decided to get a family car because at the time we thought we would have kids, but it didn't happen, which is fine. So we got a family car, so we went with a Ford Taurus, and actually that was a very nice car. I had two Ford Tauruses, and they were both silver. Well, I guess not. Well, either silver or you could call it a light gray. I guess it really doesn't matter. It was a car. It got me from here to Hayes for work. That's all that. I know some people will say, no, no, no. I know if you're like my brother and my nephews. My brother's Ford, and my dad was Ford, so that's the reason why we had Fords. And then my husband and my brother-in-law are Chevy. It's like, as long as it's a nice vehicle, and like I said, it gets me from here to Hayes to work or wherever else I need to go. I'm sorry, that's all that matters to me. But to me, I really do like the Fords, but I do like my little Chevy because it's a Captiva. It's a small SUV, and it's funny, where my husband works, where I park, the street behind the building, it's really nice because if I don't want to go all the way down to the end, I can just kind of turn around, and it's real easy. You don't have to turn and maybe back up and pull forward and back up because, you know, some of those can get to be very big. My mom had, I think it was a Mercury something, and I just said, "You have a big old boat. Good night." "I don't know. It's fine by me." It's like, okay, whatever, mother. If you like it. But now she got rid of that car, had a different one. Then she had to get rid of that one because it had so many issues. And now she has, I don't even know what she has. It's a Ford or a Mercury something. I don't know. But like I said, she's happy with it. That's all that matters. Dad drives a Ford F-150 pickup. And let me tell you, that thing has all the bells and whistles. We was going to Great Bend on Wednesday. We was on I-70 driving. He was driving. And all of a sudden, the pickup made this ding-ding noise. I was like, Dad, what's going on? Oh, it says it's time for a coffee break. I looked at him, I said, what? He says, yeah, every so often, we're in the middle. It's not where the radio is. It's over where it shows like your fuel and everything. A coffee cup, and I did see it, a coffee cup appears, and it's like steaming, and it says coffee break. And I know my dad don't drink coffee, but it was funny. I says, do we need to stop for your coffee break? He says, you know I don't drink coffee. I said, well, I know that, but I says, you know, you could have changed since the time I've left home. No. He said, I don't like that stuff. I said, okay, that's fine. He said, it just does that. I said, okay. So as long as you know it does it. So yeah. He used to drive a Ford, was it a 350? We always called it a ton job because it was big, and then he put a flatbed on the back because he used to haul seed. So that he bought that, I kid you not, he bought that right before my husband and I got married. And he just sold it last year in October. So he had it 23 years. And this truck that he had, I mean, it did a lot. It was a tough truck. Like I said, it was just something. But we told him it was time he downgraded. He didn't like that, but we told him he had to because he was having some troubles driving it. So we said, we think you should downsize to something smaller. It took a while, but he finally agreed. And then one time, my husband and I were driving around here in Ellis, and I seen a Ford pickup sitting, like in someone's yard, and it said for sale. And so I sent my brother a message, and I said, there's a pickup for sale over here. Only thing is, it's black. It's a Ford, but it's black. He says, I don't care. As long as it's something smaller than what he's got, we're not going to worry about the color. I said, okay, fine. I don't care. So he did have me stop, and I talked to the gentleman, took pictures and everything, and send the pictures to my brother so he could show my dad, because Dad is not on a smartphone. He just has a regular old cell phone, and which is fine. It does for him. Anyway, then they had heard that someone up in Nebraska who has some kind of an auction thing happened to have a pickup that was just like what my brother has. And it's a Ford. I don't know if he has a 150 or a 250. Anyway, it's a Ford. It would have been the same color and everything, and it would have been just perfect for Dad, because Dad has driven my brother's pickup before. But by the time they contacted the person, this auction place was right along like a highway in Nebraska. So someone seen it, test drove it, and decided to purchase it. So Dad missed out on that one. So Dad and my brother came over and checked this one out, and so he liked it, so he decided he would purchase it. So yeah, That's what he did. But it is very nice because when you open the door, the running boards automatically come out and lay down. It's like, whoa, that's awesome. He has heated seats also in his pickup. So when we was driving to Great Bend, I turned my heated seat on. You need that? I said, yes. I said, my backside is hurting. I need some heat to relieve the pain. Oh, okay. He says, but you do know I have the air conditioner on. I said, yeah, so leave it on. So he did. But by the time we got down the Great Bend, I did turn the heat off on the seats because I was feeling lots better. It's just one of those things, after you get up in the morning until your blood starts flowing in your body. Anyway, I'm stiff. So that's why I sit on a heating pad. And since he has the heated seats, I thought, you know what? I'm turning this little puppy on. And then I took Dad for lunch when we was at Great Bend. It was a bar and grill. Oh my goodness, excellent food. Oh my, it was delicious. He had a hamburger that had pulled pork and bacon on it. It's like it had 3 meats. It's like, holy moly. Then he had French fries, which I was surprised because he likes onion rings. And I ordered their chicken fried steak sandwich and onion rings. So anyway, we sat there and we talked, and then our food came. And he seen my onion rings. He goes, I should have ordered onion rings. I said, well, I was surprised you didn't. I said, you usually do. So anyway, I shared one with him. I probably could have gave him more, but I didn't. So yeah. Anyway, that's that. Let's see where I'm at. Oh, I'm already an hour. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Oh, let's just real quick. I'll talk about the bell tower so you kind of know about it, and then I'll call it quits for today. The bell tower is a local favorite at Mount Hope, and that's the cemetery. Was charted on December 24th, 1880. It was established January 8th, 1881. Later on, it was hard for the cemetery committee to maintain the upkeep, so it was decided to deed the cemetery over to the city on October 30th, 1935. Soon after the takeover, the cemetery used the WPA manpower to build a stone wall around the 3 sides of the cemetery, which was finished in 1940. The bell tower, which is a local favorite, was erected in 1962. It chimes short songs every noon and evening. There it is. Whoa, bless you, Snoop. Something tickle your nose over there? Notable people buried in the cemetery include Walter P. Chrysler's wife's parents, George and Sarah Forker. The Forker's daughter was a local girl who grew up in Ellis, knowing Chrysler and later marrying him. Keppel Disney, the grandfather of world-famous Walt Disney, is buried in the cemetery along with various cousins and relatives of Walt Disney. Also buried there is Praying John Horrigan, a man who came to Ellis and would pray at 3 different spots around Ellis at morning, noon, and night. Many theories existed on why he prayed, but John never told anybody as to why he prayed like he did, rain or shine, hot or cold weather. So, this is, I don't know what GAR, Union Veterans Memorial. then is Praying John Hornigan's grave, and then a Pioneer Woman memorial. So yeah, that is a little bit more of Ellis history in a nutshell. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Oh, before I forget, let me bring you back over here so you can look at me instead of my stuff. I got at least 8 colors bagged up. Now I have to go finish doing some house cleaning. Did have a load of laundry in the dryer. I washed the bedding because, you know, when you sleep with your dog, nah. So anyway, I gotta take the clothes in the dryer out, get the bedding over to the dryer, and then I got 2 other loads to go. It's gonna be a good day. It's pretty cloudy. I don't know if you can see. Let me flip this a little bit. Not really, but it is cloudy. I don't think it's supposed to be up in the hundreds. I think maybe 80s, and tomorrow's 70. The Monday, back up to 100. So that's the thing about Kansas. And I'm sure it's about any other state right now. Excuse me. So anyway, I have to show you this. I know. Let's see. Oh, there he is. I'm talking about you. He says, "Oh, Mom, would you just stop it? I love you." Do you love Mom? Yeah, I know you do. You better. I feed you. And I take you out when you got to do your duties. So anyway, and Monday, I can't believe it. My husband and I have been married 24 years already. And then Thursday, because it's 4th of July, we both don't have to work. My family's going to have an evening, kind of like a barbecue thing. We wanted to do it at noon, but since my brother-in-law farms, my sister said it's easier for him to stop and do supper instead of not doing anything in the morning, have lunch, and then go do something, which I understand. I mean, sometimes it's easier to get started in the morning when it's cooler, and then as the day goes on and gets hotter, then you can quit because, you know, it's like kind of unbearable. So anyway, and then yesterday, my one nephew and I was supposed to meet up, but he had to work, which is fine, but I'll have to take a picture and post it sometime. But it's a farm implement. I had purchased 3 of them at an antique store in Hayes. So it's a round thing that digs up the ground. So I want them as a flower, actually a sunflower. So he had to weld on a rod, and then I'm going to give them to my brother, and he's going to clean them up, and then we can paint them. And like I said, I hope to paint them like sunflowers. So anyway, that's it. I hope I didn't bore you today. My WIP and Chat talk was kind of slow and dragging for some reason. I got to plan. I got to take notes. I did have some, but I got to do better on them. So I thought last week's was better. Maybe I'm wrong. You can let me know in the comments. I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I promise. I like to hear what other people say. You may drop me an email. That would be nice. I love to receive emails. If you want to mail me something, send me an email saying you would like my mailing address, and I will be more than happy. I'm just not going to have it in the description. I do say mail upon request the address, okay? So yeah, that's it. So I'm going to say goodbye. Have a good afternoon or good day, rest of your day, and a great weekend. And do some resting. Take care of yourself, please. Our health is so important to us. You just don't realize until something happens. Okay? All right. And remember, hug someone that you haven't hugged for a while. I do that with my husband. He always says, "What are you doing?" "I'm giving you a hug. You need it. I can tell." I love giving hugs. So, anyway, like I said, have a good day, and we'll see you next week on number 6, WIP and Chat. Okay? All right. Bye. And I love you all.